Welcome back, everyone, with Recovery Dan. I'd just like to say thank you for all the support that's coming in. Thank you for all the views and the likes, your comments, and again, I ask that you subscribe to this channel because this is not about me. This is about helping people and reaching people that needs help, and that's what matters. Today I want to talk about admitting that you have a problem, which is one of the hardest things you ever have to do. Nobody wants to say they're an alcoholic. No one wants to say that they're an addict. Even though your life is shattered and falling to pieces, you still don't want to admit that you have a problem. As for me, I spent years in denial. I blamed everybody and everyone and never took a look at myself. I can give you examples of being in denial in my life, getting DWIs where my wife had to take me to work every morning and getting up at 6 o'clock driving 30 miles one way. Did that for a year while my license was suspended, and yet and still I'm having her to stop by a store on the way home to pick up something to drink. You know, those types of things. And finally it got so bad to the point that she just couldn't bear it any longer, and we divorced. Yet and still, I'm blaming her. I'm blaming her because she took the kids that I love. Everything was her fault. But you know, as time went on and I began to take a look back, and I could understand, I couldn't blame her one bit. I couldn't blame her one bit for what I put her through. But thank God I have her back today in my life, and my children as well. But this is what you can certainly call unmanageable. I was working at a place in Raleigh, and it was a restaurant. I had keys to the downstairs storage area. Would you believe I slept in that storage area for 3 months? Instead of me finding a room to rent or somewhere to live, I would get paid on Fridays. And I'm more worried about going out finding something to drink or something to get high with, or before I would it didn't even bother to even look for a place to live. That's what you call unmanageable. For 3 months I did that and got paid every Friday. Another example, one of the guys that worked there, we got paid at 2 o'clock, and his wife would come at 2 o'clock to get his paycheck. He would get his paycheck 15-20 minutes early and leave before his wife got there. And I'm telling you the truth, an hour later he was coming back wanting to borrow money. And he had a wife and 3 kids. And see, that's where this disease will take you. She started coming a little bit earlier, and he got his check even earlier. That's where it can lead you to the point where you become so unmanageable. You take your light bill money and you'll try to pay half the bill. You start making all these excuses to find, because your number one priority is to get high or get drunk. Nothing else matters to you. Nothing else matters to you. But you have to stop at some point and look in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. Take that mask off for once. And take a look at yourself and ask yourself, do you have a problem? Have your life become unmanageable? You can be homeless. You can live in abandoned trailers. You can all sorts of things that you can do, and you still want to admit that you have a problem. Everything's been taken away from you. You done tore up vehicles, and you still want to admit that you have a problem. A police officer pulled me over. My job was right across the street, and I pleaded and begged with him to let me go to work. And I blamed him for the DWI. I fussed him out all the way to jail. How could you be so cold? How could you be so cruel? But the thing of the matter is, that wasn't his fault, it was my fault. I chose to get behind that wheel and drink and drive. And see, today I understand that. If you can admit that you have a problem, then you begin your healing process. Because when you can admit that you have a problem, that means, hey, you're ready to do something about it. You're ready to do something about it, and that's what I did. I just threw up the white flag. I surrendered because it got the best of me. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I was ready for change. I just didn't want to go, and that's all everybody would ever have to say about me, that he wasn't nothing but a drunk, or she's nothing but a crackhead. I didn't want that to be, like I said, I didn't want that to be my legacy. You just like your dad, nothing but a drunk. What would my children think of me when somebody say, who is your dad? Who is your father? Who is your mother? But see, I wanted them at least to hear something good about me. The disease of alcoholism and drug addiction is a selfish disease. Very selfish. You only think about you. You don't care about anybody else. Nobody else. It's all about you and what you want. It's the most selfish disease in this world. It's when you don't care about nobody else but the next high or the next drink. And like I said, take the mask off, look in the mirror, ask yourself the question, do I have a problem? I did it, and I recognized I had a problem and I wanted help. I chose to go to the healing transition in Raleigh, and it was the best choice I ever made in my life. I didn't really care to be there when I first got there, but I knew that I felt better because there were other people just like me, and we all had that common denominator. We all was alcoholic and addicts, and we all stuck it out together. I was able to silver chip from that program. That means that I completed the program. One of the most proudest days of my life is when they handed me that silver chip, and that was the first time I accomplished anything in years. And I was so proud of that. I was able to go from that point on, and I had made up my mind that then and there that, Lord, if you will help me through this, I would never look back at that. And it's been 14 years, and I have not looked back at it. I've learned, as I said before, to live life on life's turn, and you can too. I can deal with when things go rough in my life. I don't have to. I can make rational decisions today. I don't make decisions based off of my emotions. I can think things through with a level head. I don't have to go around the corner and smoke a joint just so I can think. I can think for myself. And that's what it's all about. Getting your life back together. Admitting to yourself you have a problem. If you need someone to talk to, I'll be glad to talk to you. I'll be happy to talk to you. But there, you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. It's like I said before. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at the things that you lost. You know, and the holidays are coming up. And a lot of you that have driver license and cars, you know, be very careful. You know, you go out there and you start to drinking and you think you can make it home safe, and you know, like I said, your whole world could be turned upside down just because you made a poor decision. You know, and especially if you have any kids and you're riding your kids around in the car and you was to have an accident because you've been drinking, you know what, you'll never be able to forgive yourself if you lost your child because of your actions. You can sit there, it can change everything. Everything, it just goes out of control just because you made a poor decision. Again, you have to admit you have a problem. When you admit you have a problem, that's the beginning of your healing. That's the beginning of your healing. Isn't it worth it? Isn't it worth it to fight for what you lost? Isn't it worth it to fight and get your kids back if you lost your kids? Isn't it worth it to come back again and be able to be productive, be a productive citizen, to have the respect back? Isn't it worth it that you not be called an alcoholic or a drug addict for the rest of your life? Isn't it worth it to look at people in the eye and be proud of who you are and not have to hold your head down in shame and pretend that you're okay because you have that mask on? You don't have to lie to yourself and say, this is what I want to be, because deep down, that's not what you choose to be. I know better than that. I played that game for many years, pretending to be happy, pretending that everything was okay. I can accept these conditions that I live under, and nothing couldn't have been further from the truth. I was so ashamed of who I had become. I remember that guy that had a lovely family, 2 lovely sons, a beautiful wife, everything that a man could want. And then I let drugs and alcohol rob me of that. So how can everything be okay? No, it's not okay. And again, I say, if your life has become unmanageable, look in the mirror. Admit to yourself that you have a problem and you need help and you need to reach out. I'm here and there are others that are here that would help you also. But you have to start somewhere. Let it be now. Let it be today. Just admit that you have a problem. I'm telling you, when you admit it, even you feel a relief right then and there. You feel a burden just lift off of you right then and there, just admitting you have a problem. And if you can do that, then I think you're ready for the next step to reach out and get help. If you like what you heard today, like, comment, and again, put your footprint in this with me and subscribe. Help me to help others that are hurting and bruised, that they may be able to regain their life back and enjoy their life. Whatever remaining days you have on this earth, spend it smiling and being happy and enjoying life on life terms. Don't let drugs and alcohol rule your life. Thank you. Until next time.